Would you like to learn how to make collard greens with smoked turkey? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make the best dang collard greens you've ever had. I don't know whether my favorite holiday meal is baked macaroni and cheese or this recipe for collard greens that my mama Lee taught me how to make. I love them both and I can't decide which one is my favorite. But on this channel, we're all about indulging in the yumminess, but also adding in extra fresh veggies whenever we can so that we're sure to get in the needed vitamins. So I'm gonna show you how to make collard greens in Lisa D style with added veggies, and I'm also gonna show you how to kick the flavor of the collard greens up a bit. First, we wanna start by getting our smoked meat ready for the collard greens. I'm using smoked turkey legs, and first we wanna score the legs with 3 slits on each side on both legs. And the reason for scoring them is so that the meat will break apart more easily from the bone, and also to release some of the flavor from the turkey legs more quickly. You can use any kind of smoked meat that you like. I like ham hocks a lot, but we're trying to be more healthy, so today we're using smoked turkey legs. But any kind of smoked meat that you prefer will work. These next few ingredients may seem peculiar to you. Now put in 3 tablespoons of bacon grease into a pot. I like to use bacon grease because it has more flavor. But if you want to be more healthy, you can use olive oil. Now add in 1 bay leaf and 6 pimento seeds, allspice. And it adds a smoky, porkish flavor to the collard greens. Now add in 1 packet of Goya jamon. Stir that all up and then add in 3 large garlic cloves, roughly chopped. Half of a large onion, half of a red bell pepper, half of a yellow bell pepper. Stir that up, let it cook a few minutes, maybe like 3 minutes. Then add in your smoked meat. Speaking of smoked turkey, did you check out my Thanksgiving turkey video? Girl, I made a turkey with orange butter, garlic, herbs, and bacon. Yes, girl, I don't be playing in this kitchen. Not at all. I'll leave the link in the description and above. Next is 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of white pepper. But if you know me, you know that Lisa D is always looking to perfect her recipe and take flavor to the next level. By the way, if you're feeling my vibe, please subscribe. Do me right by hitting like and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of this yumminess. Stir that up really well, and once it starts to boil, cover it and let it cook 2 hours on medium-lowish heat. While the meat is cooking, we can begin to clean our collard greens. Collard greens are a really dirty plant, so you need to clean them very well. I use salt and white vinegar to clean my greens. I only use 2 bunches of collard greens because I'm only cooking for my son and I. But if you are cooking for a large group of people, you may need to double, triple, or quadruple this amount of greens and the ingredients because collard greens tend to cook down a lot. Make sure you clean your sink really well and put the greens in the sink with cold water and pour salt and vinegar all over the greens. We're going to use the salt as an abrasive to scrub the greens. Submerge your greens in the salt and vinegar bath, and we're going to take each green and scrub them one by one with the salt to get them nice and clean. We're going to repeat this process 3 times because, like I said, they are a dirty plant. So as we clean 1 leaf and rinse off the salt, we'll put each leaf to the side in a colander and repeat the process 2 more times. The reason I go OD with cleaning my greens is because, like I said, they're dirty and they can have sand and grit on them and even bugs sometimes. So we want to make sure that we clean them really well. Now we're going to begin to cut our collard greens up. The fancy way is to use a knife to cut the stem out. So I rip my stem out just like this. Some people don't like the stem, but my great-grandma, Mama Lee, she was raised in Mississippi and she cooked her collard greens with the stem in it. So that's how I was raised, so maybe that's why I really like the stems. I enjoy them, but they do take longer to cook. So I only use some of the stems. Most of them I throw away, but I do add some of the stems in my greens. But I add in a little bit of the stems. I chop them really fine so that they can cook easier. And I kind of feel like I'm kind of honoring my great grandma because she used to say that the stems had the most vitamins in them. So I don't know if it was that she would keep them in, or it's just that, you know how them old school people are. They're not trying to waste anything. And they sure know how to stretch a dish, girl. So I don't know what it was, but I like me some stems. I leave them in because my great grandma, Mama Lee, said so. Now layer the greens on top of each other, maybe like 6 greens on top of one another, and roll them up like this. And then chop them like this. I look like I'm gonna chop my fingers, right? Girl, I does this. I know what I'm doing. And then chop it the long way, the other way, so that you are left with this. But to be honest with you, I didn't use that great big old knife. I just used my fingers and pulled the greens apart. Hey, whatever works. We do Southern cuisine with a healthy flair over here. So we added in the extra yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, and now we're gonna add in some stems, but we're gonna make sure we chop them really fine. And all of this healthy stuff counteracts the bacon grease and all of the unhealthy stuff. I don't know. That's what I want to believe. You don't believe it? Fine. Do you, boo. And if you want to be a baby and don't eat stems, fine. Do you, boo. Now we want to get back to our smoked turkey. Ooh, yes, look. Ooh, yes, look how off the bone tender. So we want to go ahead and take all of this turkey meat off of the bones and add the collard greens to this pot liquor as well as the turkey meat and the bones itself because the bones have so much flavor. Add in the rest of the onion, 1 additional bay leaf, 3 more cloves of chopped garlic, the other half of the red bell pepper, and the other half of the yellow bell pepper. Now add in 3 cups of chicken stock and 1 additional packet of the Goya pork bouillon, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder. I like white pepper as opposed to black pepper because it goes really good in collard greens, but we need a little bit of contrast to add to the acidity that we're about to add to our greens. And brown sugar does not make the collard greens sweet at all. But I'm not a person that likes a lot of heat in my food. I know most people like their collard greens spicy, but I don't. But if you're one of those, then add some red pepper flakes to your collard greens. Once again, trust me, I'm gonna have to get a t-shirt with that on it. Girl, I know, nobody wants no sweet collard greens. It only helps to take the bitterness off of the greens and complements the ingredients nicely. Put in 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Stir it up and let it come to a boil, and then let it cook covered on medium lowish heat for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half-ish, depending on the consistency that you like your greens. I like mine's kind of soft, but not too mushy, but it depends on how you like yours. But this is how I like mine. Yes, God, yes. God, you're so good. I love you. If you don't make these greens, you crazy as hell. Where you been? Why you haven't been at work? Now you want to come to work? You the chief tasting officer and you don't want to work? It's time to work. Taste these greens. Do you like it? Is it good? Does it have your approval? Do you approve? Yay! Did you like the collard greens? They have your approval? They're yummy? You want the family to make some? God bless you.